Wildcat Basketball Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the official U of A debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org.
Welcome to another edition of Wildcat Weekly with head coach Sean Miller. Wildcats and the Sun Devils rivalry game on Thursday night up in Tempe. Before that, coach, good win against USC on Saturday. And just in the terms of performances by your teams, does that rank near the top this season?
It does. You know, I think we were really pleased with our effort on offense and defense, and where I was very, very proud of our players and coaches is, you know, the quick turnaround from a tough home loss to UCLA to a very important game and a good team in USC. Thought we really learned and put that behind us and moved on, and clearly played a much better game against SC. And it's not as easy to do as everybody might think, but to our team's credit, we were ready when the game began.
All right, first meeting with the Sun Devils here in Tucson, December 30th. Wildcats win that one by 6. Nice start to the conference season. What did your team do well in that game that you'd like to repeat this week?
Well, you have to play both ends, as always. You know, I think you have to run good offense. They played mostly man-to-man against us and tried to double-team the post, and we did a good job, I think, of getting the ball inside and out. Some of our biggest moments came in handling that post trap. I'm sure they'll have a similar game plan this time around, mixing in maybe more zone. So, you know, anytime you're on the road, Brian, regardless of who we're playing right now, the number of turnovers we have directly affects us. You know, playing at home against USC, that's a team who really steals the ball and creates turnovers with their defense. We played the entire game with 11, and that's a big reason we played so well. That helps not only your offense but also your defense. So I think being on the road this late in the season, how many turnovers we have at ASU will be a big indicator of how well we do. And then, you know, defensively, you're guarding a terrific team. You know, they can really spread you out. They utilize the three-point shot in a smart way. They also get to the free throw line a lot. Their big guy, Romello White, has had major games against some of our country's best teams. And you know, they're coming off of back-to-back home wins, which I'm sure helps their confidence. So I'm sure we're playing against, you know, one of the country's best teams and one of our conference's best teams.
Hughes is proud to have been serving the local community and delivering outstanding financial performance and value to their members since 1952.
As a performer, my time is valuable, and I count on Hughes Mobile Services to help me run my life.
I'm so glad I made the switch to Hughes.
I love being a Hughes member. They're local and they give back to my community.
Make the switch. Team up with Hughes Federal Credit Union by becoming a member today.
Wildcat Basketball Weekly continues, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Show your Wildcat spirit with a U of A Visa debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org.
Coach, you've talked recently about the importance of your bench play, and sometimes in the box score it may not show up. So when the fans are watching, what should they look for out of your reserves that will give your team a boost?
Well, you're right. So much of it is just keeping our team in the flow. You know, not making negative plays, and you don't want guys coming in the game frightened or playing not to make mistakes. You know, nobody is going to enjoy themselves or thrive in that role. But, you know, being able to move the ball offensively and take care of it, you know, you get in the game, coming in off the bench, 3 or 4 minutes go by, sometimes more, and you yourself had 0 turnovers. And defensively, you were in the right place and you're in the right time, and because you're fresh, you played with great effort. Maybe you draw a charge, get a defensive rebound. So being able to keep that going while one of our starters is on the bench, that's how you build depth. And what you don't want to have is a lot of peaks and valleys when you sub. You know, sometimes you go on a boost and that's great, but sometimes the opposite happens, and that's when you take a look at as a coaching staff and say, are we subbing at the right time? Is that something we want to do in the future? So I think right now we've really settled on giving everybody the opportunity and letting them come in and play with great effort on defense. They now know what to do. And offensively, you know, stay within the confines of what they do. You know, in this last game, for example, Ira made a really good shot around the basket. Keanu had a dunk. And that's just going to come with playing and being in the right position. You know, if they don't do either of those things, they could still play really well, because instead of playing DeAndre 37 minutes, we play him 32, 34. And being able to play a guy 34, 32 versus 37 or 38 is a big, big deal. I mean, it is the difference between them playing with continued effort and sometimes them pulling back on defense.
Your team's played in some tough environments. You purposely put them in those environments early in the non-conference season in order to get them ready for conference play. And you see, of course, the tough environments on the road. So when your team walks into Wells Fargo Arena on Thursday night, you feel they're well conditioned for, I'll say, another tough environment.
I think so. I mean, we've been, at Utah was a pretty tough environment, as you know. At Colorado was, at Washington, I thought was probably their overall best crowd of the year. And, we've been through that. And you go back all the way to non-conference play at UNLV. I think if you look closely at the numbers, they probably had one of their biggest crowds of the season. At New Mexico is always tough. So we've been through it. And then if you're not a freshman, if you're a sophomore, or if you're a junior, if you're a senior like Parker and Duson, they've certainly been through it a number of times, including being at ASU in the past. So, the crowd's not going to be the reason we win or lose. It's going to be our performance. And I think our guys are confident in that they know how to play a road game.
All right, Cats and the Sun Devils coming up Thursday night, tip-off 7:30, or 7 o'clock, that is, at Wells Fargo Arena. And we'll see you next time on Wildcat Weekly.
Thanks for watching Wildcat Basketball Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the free U of A Visa debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org, federally insured by NCUA.